All right, so we'll start with upright virasana. I'm going to be sitting on a block. You can sit on a block or the floor as you may wish, but have your sit bones evenly supported as you bring your feet back into hero pose. So, virasana. So we'll just spend a little time here just kind of settling in, just getting comfortable. So we want to be not just sinking down into the sit bones, but in a certain sense, lifting up, kind of being very alert on the sit bones. It can help to pull skin and muscles away from the sit bones just to kind of get a good feel for the sit bones down onto whatever you're using, the floor or block or whatever. So then the knees are together. You lengthen through the knees away and toward the floor. And then with the feet, you want to have as much of the top surface of the foot on the floor as you can. You can kind of spread your toes a bit. And then, as I often like to do, put your palms on overlapping the soles of your feet and kind of press down. Press the ball mounds of the feet into the floor. You can do it with whatever part of your hand works. You can make little fists, push down, just a gentle but firm pushing down. So you get that feeling of the whole, or as much of the top of the foot as you can onto the floor. And then take, here with my left hand I have my left thumb inside my left heel and 2 middle fingers on the outside of my left ankle. And then I press in on the ankle and out with the heel, and the same on the other side. I know not everybody senses this, but for me, it has it rotates the shin bone, and it gives a kind of release right up through to the knee. So it's a very gentle thing. It's not an aggressive action. It's just a simple, almost an action rather than a movement, but there's movement as well. So then again, we want to be in a way that can maybe alert you to how the shin bone on the floor feels. So we want the sit bones, the tops of the feet, the shin bones actively moving down, and we kind of lift up away from that moving down action. So then we want to lift up with the torso, lift up with the side rib cage, lift up with the front of the body, the back of the body. Open the chest from the center out to the left and right. Inner edge of the shoulder blades in. Underside of the chin parallel to the floor. Just a soft gaze forward. Keep an active movement down with the tops of the feet and the shins while you lift the torso. And then let's interlace the fingers onto the crown of the head. And then flip the palms over and press the arms straight. Bring the upper arms back to or behind the ears without adding to the arch in your low back. And then bring the hands back down into Namaskar. And then change the interlace of the fingers. Bring the palms back to the crown of the head. Flip the palms over. And again, press the arms straight. And then back to Namaskar. I'm going to shift here a little bit. I keep looking and I appear to be off center. And I don't know if it's the camera or how I'm positioned. That looks better. Okay, so now I want to extend the left foot forward. So we're in half hero pose, Ardha Virasana. So the left leg is extended straight, kneecap firm into the thigh bone is moving down. There's a gap now if you're not on the floor. If you're on the floor, the whole back of the leg is on the floor. If you're on a height, as I am, there's a little bit of space. And you can utilize that space to locate the movement down with that left thigh. Meanwhile, the right leg stays in that active Virasana mode. Top of the foot and the shin is moving down. Torso lifts up, chest stays open. And now we're just going to start to go back into a reclining posture, just to the extent that you can, where you start to feel that extension through that right thigh. For some people, you won't go hardly anywhere. For others, you may go all the way to the floor. But as you do this, continue to reach with that right knee and continue to move the shin and foot into the floor. So for me on this height, I'm feeling a pretty good extension through that quadricep muscle. So don't overdo, but you know, the idea is to feel something there. Keep the chest open. And then ease your way back up. Extend that right leg into Dandasana and bring the left foot leg back into half hero pose, Ardha Virasana. Again, locate the sit bones alert on the floor or your prop. Tighten the right kneecap into the thigh. Thigh moves down. Extend the right heel, the right big toe mound. There's an internal rotation on that right thigh. The left foot, same as before. Top of the foot, shin moving down. Torso lifts up, chest open. And then again, we just kind of walk yourself back to whatever extent you're comfortable. Even if it's just an inch, doesn't really matter. The idea is to go back to whatever extent you're comfortable and then get into that feeling of having that quadricep extend. So you're reaching really with that left knee forward and down into the floor. Okay, ease your way back up. And then back to full hero pose. Bring that right knee back. Now, I want to do some Nadi Shodhana pranayama, alternate nostril breathing here. If you're not comfortable in this Virasana pose, then take a different seated posture, like some cross-legged posture or some other pose. But if you can handle it, if you're okay in this upright Virasana, let's stick with it. So again, the tops of the feet, the shins moving down, reaching still through the quadriceps, through the knees, away and down. Torso lifts up, chest open. Okay, so the alternate nostril breathing, as we know, we're going to have the middle finger and the index finger either on that third eye spot or on the bridge of the nose. Bridge of the nose being technically the more correct place. You can find your own comfort in this. The right thumb is against the right side of the nose, up at the cartilage there, and the pinky and the ring finger on the left side. So the object here is to use the minimal necessary pressure to block one side or the other as we go. And also to narrow the stream of the breath such that it's almost like a little tiny straw that the air doesn't even touch your nostrils as it comes in. The first place the breath touches is at the base of the back of the throat. And then as you exhale, the same. The last place the breath touches is the base of the back of the throat. And then in a narrow stream is sent back out through the appropriate nostril. So that's the idea. We also want a little compression, a little drawing back of the base of the back of the throat, the Jalandhara Bandha. You can do that with your head upright, or you can take Jalandhara Bandha, whichever suits you. I'm going to do the Jalandhara Bandha tonight. Your left hand can be on your lap. You can have it in this position. It's kind of hard to do Jhana Mudra, so I would suggest just either palm up on your lap, or I kind of like palm down on my left knee here. So with the eyes closed and your fingers in position, just breathe comfortably, evenly, in and out both nostrils. If you find yourself getting agitated with this or getting things mixed up, just go back to normal breathing and then pick up with me as you may wish. Okay, let's take a good full inhale through both nostrils. And a full exhale through both nostrils. Close the right side, inhale through the left. Close both and hold. Open the right, exhale. Close both and hold. Open right, inhale. Close both and hold. Open left, exhale. Close both and hold. Open left, inhale. Close and hold. Open right, exhale. Close and hold. Open right, inhale. Close and hold. Open left, exhale. Close and hold. Open left, inhale. Continue at your own pace. For a couple more cycles. And then after your next hold, after exhale on the left side, return to normal breathing. All right. We'll now take Dandasana, staff pose. Stand on a bit of a height. Folded blanket is fine. See, my bed is turned, it's angled out, so that's my problem with this. Okay. So we'll just go through a comfortable, not too aggressive here on the forward bendings. Just we'll work our way into more aggressive stretches. So sit upright. Again, alert on the sit bones. Extend the heels forward. Extend the big toe mounds forward. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs. As you can see, my big toes and big toe mounds are together. My heels are a little apart. I find that allows me to get a good full extension, but you can certainly do it with your heels together if they'll go there. But it kind of takes my toes apart. So I like having at least a little bit of spread there. Kneecaps firm into the thighs. Internal rotation with the skin and muscles of the thighs. You can take your hands and grip the thigh and wring it in as you tighten the kneecap into the thigh and move it back down. Same thing here. You can do this physically, or you can, with your hands, or you can just do it with your leg muscles. Again, we're sitting on the sit bones, separating the sit bones, separating the skin and muscles of the buttocks. Hands, fingertips on the floor. Torso lifts up, chest open. Take your belt, if you're using one. Put it around the ball of the feet. Reset all those little extensions and knee tightenings if you've lost that there. Lift the chest, open the chest. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Just a bit. Just to a point where you're still comfortable with this. You're maybe feeling it in the back of the legs, but nothing strenuous just yet. Now, as you're here, focus on lengthening the navel and sternum forward and arching the low back. You can see, especially from the side view, how it looks. I'm a little rounded now, and what I want to do is I want to lengthen the navel and sternum and extend through the low back, almost making it concave. Okay, and then come back up to Dandasana. Take a couple breaths, kind of reset if you need to with the extensions, inner and outer heels, big toe mounds, go forward. You can use the belt, the strap to help bring the little toe edge of the foot back. Kneecaps firm into the thighs, back of the legs into the floor, torso lifts up, chest open, inhale. Exhale, come forward to that same starting point. And again here, focus on the details. Extending the heels forward, the sit bones back, the kneecaps firm into the thighs, back of the knees and thighs into the floor. Internal rotation with the skin and muscles of the thighs. Now lengthen the navel and sternum, arching the low back. Inhale again. And with your exhale, keeping this form, extend out over the legs. You may want to just reach forward to your feet now and then extend into the forward bend. Paschimottanasana. Let the head and neck release. And then inhaling, come back up. Take your belt again. We'll do once again. Get yourself repositioned comfortably. This time we're going to not do the phase one, phase two. We're just going to go right into the full forward bend. So if you're using a belt here, feel free to do so, or you can do away with the belt. But in any case, as you can see, I'm using the belt here to really get a nice upright posture. So you want to have that nice upright posture. Now, either using the belt or not, Inhale, lengthen up, and with the exhale, come forward, extend, and fold into the full forward bend. Breathe here, evenly in and out both nostrils. And then ease your way back up with an inhale. Okay, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Bring the right foot up against the left thigh. You may need to angle your blanket out of the way of your right thigh. And then again, just get that feeling of pressing the ball, especially the big toe mound ball, down into the floor. So you're really pressing the top of the foot into the floor. And the sole of the foot kind of looks up at the ceiling, for at least for a moment. Then, before we go into the pose, put your right hand on your right knee and your left hand off the left side. Lift the torso, open the chest, and then use your arm strength to kind of steer your torso toward that left foot. Now, you'll probably lose it when you reach out to the belt, strap, or foot, but still notice how this feels to be aligned with the extended left leg, because that's what you want. Okay, and then go ahead, and if you're using belt, take your belt onto the ball of the foot. See if you can relocate that turning of the torso toward that left leg. Nice and upright with the torso. Inhale, exhale, come forward again, only halfway. Once you've come to that point where you're still comfortable in the pose, focus on the details, extending that left heel forward, the left sit bone back, and lengthen the navel and sternum out over that left leg. Breathe here. Left kneecap firm into the thigh, back of the knee and thigh into the floor. And then inhale and come back up. Again, keep that nice upright posture. And then we'll go once again, inhale, exhale, come forward into that first position. Extend the heel forward, the sit bone back, lengthen the navel and sternum, kind of bring an extension and concavity into the low back. Inhale again, and then exhale, extend and fold into your full forward bend, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. And then with an inhale, ease your way back up. And then again, we'll do it another time, one more time here, with or without the belt, and we'll go into the full Janu Shirshasana right from the beginning. So again, whether you're using the belt or not, lift, open the chest, turn the torso toward that extended left leg. And then if you're using it without the belt, extend your arms up with an inhale. If you're using the belt still, inhale. And then with the exhale, extend forward, catching either your foot or still the belt, and fully exhale into the full pose. Head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. And then with an inhale, ease your way up. Extend both legs forward into Dandasana, staff pose. Bring the left foot back. You want to change the position of your blanket if you're using one. Take the belt if you're using it. But once again, press that left foot now down into the floor. So you get that feeling of turning the sole of the foot to look up at the ceiling, just for a moment at least. And then you can take the belt. Use the belt to help you find a nice upright posture. Extend the right heel, tighten the right kneecap into the floor, back of the right leg into the floor. Sit bones alert and upright with the torso. Inhale. Exhale, come forward into that first position. Look forward. Arch the low back. Lengthen the navel and sternum. Breathe here. Focus on the details. Extending the heel forward and the sit bone back. Back of the leg into the floor. Chest stays open. We don't want to kind of crunch down. We want to keep the elbows apart and lifting to help guide you into a nice, almost like a glide pattern. And then with an inhale, come back up. All right. Square yourself up. The torso facing that right leg extended. Extend the right leg. Tighten the kneecap into the thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Come forward to that first position again. Looking forward, arching the low back. Lengthen the navel and sternum. Again, inhale. And with the exhale, extend and fold into Janu Shirshasana. Head to knee pose. And then ease your way up with an inhale. And we'll do it one more time, going straight into the full pose. So again, using the belt or not, turn the torso toward that right leg, extend that right heel forward, the sit bone back, back of the right leg into the floor, torso lifts, chest open. Bring the arms up if you're not using a belt, or just lift up with the torso. Inhale, and then exhale, sweep out over that leg and down into the full pose. And then with an inhale, ease your way back up and extend both legs forward in staff pose, Dandasana. Okay, my mat keeps migrating out of alignment. So now, Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. So here then we'll separate the feet widely. I happen to have a perfectly placed carpet here, so that actually kind of works as a stop for my feet, and it helps me see that I'm aligned. So you can maybe see a line in the wood floor. You want to have a symmetrical extension. And you don't want it to be too much. Like I can feel this already right here in this big tendon, so don't overdo this. Just stay within yourself. If it's too much, bring your feet in a little closer. There's no, I'm going to do that because I can feel a little too much tension there for the start. If you start with a lot of tension, it's not going to be good when you get further in. So in any case, extend the heels away, toes point straight up, kneecaps point straight up, kneecaps firm into the thighs, back of the knees and thighs into the floor. And if you keep that engagement, it'll help protect the inner thigh. but it won't prevent you from injuring, so don't overdo. Separate the skin and muscles of the buttocks. Use your fingertips on the floor to help you get that nice lift in the torso. Again, arching the low back. It's already feeling much better for me. And then we'll bring the arms up with an inhale, and with an exhale, come forward. For me, I'm just going to put my fingertips on the floor for a moment and really take my time easing into this. You don't want to strain the groins or the inner thigh. But if you're comfortable with it, you can start just staying within yourself to move forward a bit. Keep that arching in the low back. Don't round the low back. When you go fully into the pose, your back can round, but don't give that up right away. Just take your time. Be in the pose and don't strain. You can see as I come down to my elbows, I can't maintain that full extension, and that's okay. Once you're in your full extension, let your head and neck release. Keep the kneecaps firm into the thighs. Keep extending the heels. Keep moving the back of the legs into the floor. And then with an inhale, ease your way back up. Okay, we'll do a second time now, where we're going to reach out to catch your toes or the little toes of your feet, or maybe just, catch hold of your shins, somewhere like that. In any case, keep the heels extending, the kneecaps firm into the thighs, the back of the knees and thighs into the floor. Torso lifts up, chest open. Bring the arms up. Inhale. And with the exhale, extend out to wherever you can reach comfortably and staying in control and staying within yourself. Here we then inhale again, lengthen the navel and sternum, arch the low back, keep those kneecaps firm into the thighs, and with an exhale, you rotate through the hips and let your head and neck release down toward the floor. Wide angle pose, Upavishta Konasana. And then ease your way back up. And I think I'm actually misnaming this. I think, let me look at my notes here. Bring your feet into a comfortable cross-legged posture. I think the Upavishta Konasana is when you're upright, but let me double check that. No, I got it right. It's, yeah, now I have to try to remember. It's the Ardha Bandha, whatever. I'll work on my Sanskrit. Sit comfortably for a few breaths in a comfortable cross-legged posture. Okay, and now for a fairly challenging forward bend, Ardha Bandha Padma Paschimottanasana, half bound lotus seated forward bend. So for this, it's helpful if you have two belts. We're going to extend the legs forward in Dandasana. A nice upright posture, skin and muscles of the buttocks separated. And now, if you can, you bring your right foot up into half lotus. You can take one belt and position it so you'll be able to get it around your foot later. And then the second belt, you can put, my strap is a little tangled. All right, never mind that. So you can put it around the foot like so, and then you reach around and catch the belt with your right hand. So your right hand goes behind you and you catch like so. If you've got long arms or you've got the ability to extend, you just catch the left big toe. Now, or the right big toe. Now you can use the belt around your left foot, or you can do without the belt, whichever way works for you. I'm going to go without. So if you're going without, you bring your arm up and you inhale, and you exhale. Everybody can come forward, look forward, arching the low back. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe this is as far as you go, but if you've gotten this far, it's a really good pose. So good for you. In any case, then you can inhale if you wish, lengthen, and exhale, and move the head toward the shin. And breathe. Head and neck release. Ardha Bandha Padma Paschimottanasana, half bound lotus, seated forward bend. And then inhale and ease your way up. Extend both legs forward in Dandasana. We'll go to the second side. So start with a nice extended seated Dandasana. Bring the left foot up onto the right thigh, if you can. If you can't get it up to the side, you can just have it like in Janu Shirshasana. And then you, again, reach around and catch the foot either with the belt or with your hand. Square up the hips and shoulders facing forward. And then either using a belt or bringing your arm up, inhale. And with the exhale, come forward. Pause here for a few breaths. Get the full extension of the right heel forward, right sit bone back. Lengthen the navel and sternum. Lengthen the torso. And then when you're ready, inhale. And with the exhale, extend and fold into the forward bend. Ardha Bandha Padma Paschimottanasana. Head and neck release. And then inhaling, release. Come back up to Dandasana. Take a few breaths. And then we'll go into downward facing dog, Ardha Bandha Padma. So go right into your downward dog. Arms and legs extended straight. Head and neck release. And then downward facing hero pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. Knees apart, big toes touch, sit back on your heels. Extend the torso forward and bring the forehead down to the floor. Just be at ease here. All right, and then we'll come up to a standing posture. And we'll do a few standing poses, standing forward bends. So start in the center of your mat in a nice upright Tadasana, standing pose. So let's start with hands on hips. Lift the ball of the foot, lengthen the ball of the foot away from the heel, widen across the ball of the foot, spread the toes, put the toes back onto the floor. Same with the other foot. Lengthen, widen across the sole of the foot, spread the toes. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs, internal rotation with the skin and muscles of the thighs. All the same things we were doing seated. Here we lift the front pelvic bones a bit, tuck in the tailbone just a bit, take the floating ribs back, take the skin and muscles of the buttocks down, lift the hamstrings up toward the buttocks, lift the torso up, chest open from the center out to the left and right. Elbows reach back toward each other to help you with that. And then let's bring the hands into Namaskar. And then extend the arms up, separate the palms and fully extend up. So to get a good forward bend, you really have to start with a good full extension. So to really fold properly, you want to first really extend. So you want to focus on being able to get that full extension. So while you're here, without moving your feet, do the action as if you're separating your feet. So this will engage the whole outer thigh as well as the kneecaps drawn up into the thighs. But sense that full extension through the arms and hands. And then bring your hands back down into Namaskar. Okay, so for our first forward bend, we're going to separate our feet a bit, and let's have a block or two or a book or whatever you may have, just to give yourself a bit of opportunity to ease into a full extension. You can use a chair. So for example, if your hamstrings are really tight and you're not going to be able to get to the floor or even to blocks, then you just use a chair, which is perfectly fine to do. Like I said, we're going to start with the feet a few inches apart, but then let's work through all the same details. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs, lift the torso, open the chest, lift the front pelvic bones, take the tailbone in a bit, floating ribs back, skin muscles of the buttocks down, chest open. Do the action of separating your feet without actually moving them and engage the whole of the lower body. And then let's bring the arms up into Ardha Bandha. Fully extend. Now maintain that full extension as you first inhale, and then with the exhale, come down to whatever height you're using. So it's more like a half forward bend. So now the idea is to position yourself so that your hips are directly over your ankles. So you're extending the heels down and you're lifting the sit bones up. You're arching the low back. You look forward. Take a few breaths here. Keep the internal rotation on the thighs and do that action of separating the feet without moving them. So you're really fully engaged with the lower body. Now, inhale again, look forward, arching the low back. Exhale, move into your lowest comfortable position with your forward bend. Let your head and neck release down. Breathe here. Keep moving the heels down and lifting the sit bones up. Thighs move back. Kneecaps firm into the thighs. Internal rotation with the skin and muscles of the thighs. Lengthen the navel and sternum. Fold forward. And now, if you're able, grab hold of your ankles or your shins, calves. Inhale, look forward, arching the low back. And with the exhale, draw your forehead, using a little arm strength to pull yourself into your full forward bend. Padottanasana.
And then ease your way up halfway. Take a couple of breaths here, let the blood flow get back to normal. And then inhale and come up the rest of the way. And take a couple breaths. We'll do again. So you can keep your feet apart, or if you wish, as I'm going to bring my feet together. It brings a balance element into the pose. I'm going to lengthen and widen across the soles of my feet. I want to get as full of contact with the soles of my feet to the floor as I can. I want to be stacked, the plane of my ankles, plane of my knees, hips, pelvis, chest, shoulders, underside of my chin, crown of the head. All of these planes stacked parallel to each other. Kneecaps firm into the thighs. Do the action of separating your feet without moving them. So we're going to go right into the full pose, all the way into your full forward bend. Whatever that is, feel free to continue to use a prop, chair, blocks, whatever you wish, but right into your full pose. Bring the arms up into Ardha Hastasana. Inhale. And with the exhale, sweep down into your full forward bend. Padottanasana. Head and neck release. And then inhaling, come up halfway again. Let the blood flow normalize. And then with another inhale, come up. And then just step out and take a couple of breaths. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate this next one. It's something that I don't really do much. We're going to go to sort of the more common pose that I teach in a moment, but more difficult. This is kind of like you could call it like a bending or forward folding tree pose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it from the side, but you can also see it from the side angle. I'm going to take tree pose. And then I'm going to bring my arms up. And then I'm going to come forward. Like so. So it's just that simple. It's actually kind of difficult to do, but it's not physically too challenging. There's a balance element. And I want to offer this as an alternative to the half-bound lotus version. So let's go ahead and take Tadasana, facing a chair if you have one, or some other such prop. Anything that gives you a little bit of height. I mean, you can do it all the way to the floor if you wish. And then take tree pose, Vrikshasana. With the palms separated. And then you can bend your left knee a little bit as you do this and bring your hands down and see if you can go right to the chair with your legs still in tree pose. All right, and then put that right foot on the floor and come back up to Tadasana. And then tree pose on the other side. Bring the arms up, separating the palms. And then again, forward bending. Okay. Left foot on the floor and come back up. So if you like that pose, you can continue to do it. But where I want to go now is to the standing version of half-bound lotus. So, bring a little more room from the wall. You can use a belt if you wish, of course. You know, 2 belts if you wish. I'm going to do it without the belts. Well, let me sort of demonstrate with the belts first so that people who may be struggling with it have a shot. If I can get this strap moving, good. So maybe just watch for a moment. You'll see where we're going. So I'm going to take my right foot up into half lotus. And then I'll put the belt around it. And I'll reach around with my right hand to catch that belt. And then I bring my left arm up. And I bend my knee as I come forward into the pose, but you don't have to. And then I straighten it once I'm in the full pose. So that's the idea. So that wasn't terribly graceful. I should have just come back up. You can do this with a chair, if you wish, when you come forward, or blocks, or whatever you might wish. But it's the challenge is that if you've got stuff around you, you can easily kind of lose your balance, and you need to step. You want to make sure you're not stepping into something. So, second time through here, I'm going to not use the belts. But again, you can go ahead and do that tree pose again if you wish. Or you can just do a standing forward bend. But for those who are going to give it a shot, take the right foot up into half lotus. And then either reaching around to catch the foot or using a belt, extend that left arm up with an inhale, and with the exhale, forward bending. Oops. And again, wherever you end up, let the head and neck release. Ardha Bandha Padottanasana. It's a standing half-bound lotus, forward bend. And then come up. Gracefully. Back to your Tadasana. I love doing this pose, but it does take some practice to maintain balance while doing all these complicated things. Left foot in half lotus. Reach around to catch that foot if you can, or use the belt. Right hand extends up. Inhale, exhale, forward bend. Total failure. But I'll redo it again. Again, wherever you end up, let the head and neck release. Half-bound lotus, standing forward bend. Ardha Bandha Padottanasana. And then inhale and come back up to Tadasana. And then one more time, a standing forward bend. Feet can be together or a little apart. Nice upright standing pose. Bring the arms up into Ardha Hastasana. And with an exhale, fold into your full Uttanasana. And then from here, step right into downward dog. And then downward facing hero pose. Adho Mukha Virasana. Big toes touch, knees apart, sit back on your heels. Rest the torso down and just be at ease. And then ease your way up. Take a little height like a blanket. Sit on in a comfortable cross-legged posture. And we'll do a little Ujjayi pranayama. So again, separate skin and muscles of the buttocks, separate the sit bones, exposing the perineum to the floor, the Muladhara chakra. Torso lifts up, chest open. Take whichever mudra position you wish. You can have your hands folded in the Vipassana kind of mode and use the Jhana mudra or the Yoni mudra, which I've explained at other times. It looks like this. If you wish to do it, you kind of interlace the pinky fingers, the middle fingers tips touch, the ring fingers are behind the middle fingers, and the index fingers pull the ring fingers apart, like so. That's Yoni Mudra, if you wish to use. In any case, sit upright, chest open, spine extended, eyes closed. Lift the chest up toward the chin. Take the chin down into Jalandhara Bandha. And as we know, those who do, Mula Bandha is an engagement of the central perineal tendon and a lifting of the pelvic floor. And Uddiyana Bandha is taking the navel back and lifting up into the chest cavity. So there's a kind of flying up from the base of the pelvis right up into the heart center. Again, if you find yourself agitated or just not comfortable or just out of sync with this, just return to normal breathing. And if you wish, pick up the pranayama again when it's ready, when you're ready for it, or not. Just breathing comfortably is fine. Again, breathing evenly in and out the nose and narrowing again that breath as if you're breathing through a straw. And the breath on the inhale, the first place it touches is the base of the back of the throat. And on the exhale, the last place it touches is the base of the back of the throat. The Jalandhara Bandha creates a little bit of a compression at the base of the back of the throat, which amplifies that aspirated sound of the breath inside your head. Okay. Take a good, full, complete inhale. And a full, complete exhale. Again, with a good, full inhale again, expanding the chest. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Engage that central perineal tendon. Keep that engagement as you exhale. Completing the exhale, hold and add Uddiyana Bandha. Draw the navel back and up. Release those bandhas and inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana Bandha. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Continue on at your own pace for a couple more cycles. After your next hold after exhale, the Kumbhaka, return to normal breathing. When you're ready, you can lift your chin up with an inhale, open your eyes, and then stretch out into Shavasana. Wherever you like, however you like. Extend the legs out. Let the legs and feet fall out away from each other. Let the hands rest on the floor, palms up, or on your torso, palms down. Let the weight of your body release into the floor. Let the breath move to a very quiet, maybe even still place. There are times when I release down into Shavasana where I catch myself in a place of stillness. And I don't even know how long I was there. Maybe it was just an instant, maybe it was 5 seconds. Who knows, maybe it was 5 minutes. If you can find that little moment of stillness, just enjoy that whenever it comes, whenever it arises. In any case, for now, just let the weight of your body release. Let go of all effort. Let your body settle, let your breath settle, let your mental activity settle and release. Just soften and release into a nice, quiet, peaceful Shavasana. All right, then take a few deeper breaths and bring your awareness back into fingers and toes. Or really, you can stay in your Shavasana. I keep the Shavasans a bit short. You're welcome to just stay there if you wish. But if you're coming out, bring your hands to your or torso. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Roll to your side, preferably right side. Stay curled up for a few more breaths here. When you come up, keep your neck soft and bring the crown of your head up last. Gently push to a seated posture. All right, good to see everyone again.
And I'll see you all next week. Namaste.
Namaste.
Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.